Hello and welcome to stage 3 of the 30th edition of the Giro Rosa, 104.1 kilometers today from Sagliano Micca to Piedicavallo. It should be another great stage after yesterday. Marianne Vos taking a stage victory. Kasia Niewiadoma is still in the Maglia Rosa as a race leader. Maylen Noriega and me, Martin McDonald, here to take you through today's action. 2 days in, and the big names are already looking on great form, aren't they? Marianne Vos, what a finish yesterday.
Yeah, that was incredible. So much like Mariana, she attacked and nobody could follow. She's unbeatable.
Behind her, though, Anna van der Breggen, Annemiek van Vleuten, Lucinda Brand, they were all well up there. So it looks like all our big names are on top form.
Yeah, we saw each other. They were watching each other and everyone was there with their teams. They look really, really well, and I'm looking forward for today.
Okay, let's have a look ahead at today's stage. Today's stage, 104.1 kilometers from Sagliano Micca to Piedicavallo. Slight climb out of the blocks before we run down into the valley and start climbing again past the start point and head up towards our summit finish at Piedicavallo. The climb is 16.8 kilometers in length, average gradient of 3.2%, maximum of 9.5. Today's finish, it looked very much like a very sort of traditional Giro Rosa stage finish, this sort of tight cobbled streets.
Yeah, you really have to be careful and be in a good position by the end because it's really, really narrow and with cobblestones, and yeah, it's a difficult one.
So after yesterday's stage, Kasia Niewiadoma, she said she banged her knee on the handlebars. Do you think that might be a little bit of a worry going forwards?
Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully she recovered yesterday night and the physio saw her, and hopefully everything is okay and we can see a good race today.
In terms of the race, we've got one intermediate sprint. We've got one Queen of the Mountains point right on the finish line. Let's get right to it. As is always tradition, the leaders' jerseys line up on the front row of the start. Good ride by Sophie de Vos yesterday to take over in that green Queen of the Mountains jersey. Rolling away from the start, Elisa Longo-Borghini in that blue jersey. There you have it. There's Juliette Labousse there from Team Sunweb in that white jersey. And Kasia Niewiadoma just moving back into the second line as riders move up to try and get themselves towards the front for kilometre 0. Elisa Longo-Borghini, she was my tip for the stage today.
Yeah, I saw her comments yesterday in social media that she didn't like the heat that much. You wouldn't think that an Italian doesn't like the heat, but she said that her body didn't like it either. So she had to drink so much and was sweating so much. So hopefully she gets that around.
Marianne Vos, you just saw there, just in that Ciclamino jersey you're watching out for today. Just directing the riders, these very, very narrow, very sort of traditional streets that you get here in sort of Piedmont. This is the last stage that we've got in this region before we head in towards the Lombardy region. And if you've never been to this part of the world, this is what you get in a lot of these little towns.
Yeah, you really have to be careful. You can see in their faces, they're really concentrated, not chatting with each other. You don't want to have a fall at the beginning of the day.
Sophie de Vos there. So the only Queen of the Mountains point that we've got today is right on the finish line, which is a shame. So it's good for her. She would have been looking to try and pick up some more points in that competition. She had 7 points after yesterday. Christoforu sitting with 5 points. Annemiek van Vleuten with 3 points. In terms of the points classification, Marianne Vos leading that with 15 points to Van Vleuten's 12 and Lucinda Brand's 10. In that white jersey, it's Labousse from Noskova and Ragusha. And then in the team classification, it's Canyon Schramm still leading from Team Bigler and Mitchelton Scott. So that's what we have. We do have that intermediate sprint to come, 27.6 kilometers to go. And that's at Gallianico on the Via Mattiotti. And so 3, 2 and 1 bonus seconds are on offer there. And those bonus seconds can become really, really important as this Giro Rosa goes on. This is where we are now on the race profile. So through Tolgano and Taylor Wiles of Trek Segafredo is on the offensive. So Taylor Wiles, you can see we saw her attack yesterday, and she's got a gap, so we're heading up towards the finish town. Story of the day, though, we headed out of the start. It was very technical, very windy start. We had an early breakaway of Dalia Muccioli, Eri Ionamine of LA Cipollini, and Lisa Mozenti of the Eurotarget team. This is Eugenia Bujak, so the BTC City Ljubljana rider, and she went on the attack with 50 kilometers to go. Taylor Wiles is at the head of the race. Bujak had a good gap for most of the stage. It's been very, very animated throughout. Bujak went with about 50k to go, and it really has been she's been holding them off for quite a while.
Yeah, she has got 2 minutes in front of the peloton, so it was a really brave attack, and she's kept it really, really good.
Taylor Wiles, we saw her go on the attack very close to the finish yesterday, and again the Trek Segafredo rider going on the offensive. The way the team is looking coming into this race, with the likes of Audrey Cordon-Rago, Lisa Longo-Borghini, this for Taylor Wiles, a super talented American rider. She took a stage in Bira. She was second overall on Tour of California. She went last year. She might just get a little bit of freedom, would you say, in this race, as that sort of, you think they're going to be looking at Longo Borghini, but Taylor Wiles, she's got the talent to win this race overall. Yeah,
she's really strong, really talented, and always attacking. She's been getting more comfortable as the season have passed. I think this year with the team, it's been a stepping stone for her, and I see her doing really good.
Just to update you on the intermediate sprint points. So as we went through Gallianico, it was Bujak that was leading at that point. Lucinda Brand, importantly, took 2 bonus seconds there ahead of Amanda Spratt. And so that gap, that's 1 point as well. We had Lottie Becker and Simona Frapporti that were also in the gap before Taylor Wiles then went on the offensive here for Trek Segafredo. And coming in towards the finish again, we saw Lucy Kennedy attacking yesterday for Mitchelton Scott. It takes the pressure off the team in that peloton behind, doesn't it, for Elisa Longo-Borghini?
Yeah, it's a really wise move from the teams, as we saw yesterday for Michael Scott, and then today from Trek Segafredo. They really takes the pressure off and makes the other teams work.
So Bujak now is about to be swept up by the Peloton national champion of Slovenia. You can see in that jersey, she's the national road race and time trial champion of her country. She went into the stage 43rd at 2:59. Brave move by her, but unfortunately not her day today. But she's an aggressive attacking rider. She's been a European champion on the track as well, but she's swept up by the peloton. You can see the colours, the orange there of CCC Live for Mariana Vos, the Canyon SRAM colours, that black jersey with the multiple colours on it for Cassia Nuva-Doma. Taylor Wiles, though, and she's got a very, very she's a rider that you can we're always proud as commentators, is the climb really kicks in here. She's got a very unique style on the bike. You can always pick her out.
Yeah, you can always see where Tiles is riding. I like her style, and she's a really strong rider and really aggressive.
Yeah, 40 seconds now with 12.6 kilometers to go. And this climb, it's got some narrow sections as well. It's got some cobblestones as we run up towards the finish.
Yeah, and this is the part where it starts getting steeper. But I've seen Tyler ride really good in Bira this year. I think she can do it.
So Taylor Wiles for Trek Segafredo. This team, though, it's very important, isn't it, as well, when we see the growth of women's cycling and women's pro cycling, when we see the likes of Trek Segafredo coming on board to sort of be up there with the likes of Team Sunweb, the likes of Team Mitchelton Scott. We've got a long way to go by any stretch of the imagination, haven't we, before we achieve the sort of equality that we want in women's pro cycling, because there are some still very, very small budget teams and riders out there that are basically they're not getting paid, that kind of thing, but we need at this level, we need the teams like Trek Segafredo.
Yeah, it's nice to see, because at the beginning there was only like one team like that with the bus and the structure, but every year we see another and another, and it's really good to see women's cycling growing. But still, as you say, we need it to grow more, and we need to viewers to watch more women's cycling.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do that here. So keep watching, keep sharing here on GCN Racing. Let everyone know that you can watch it here. There's Leah Kirschman for the Canadian rider from Team Sunweb. Amanda Spratt just on the left there in the yellow and black of Mitchelton Scott. Cecilia Trup-Ludwig in that white and light blue jersey for Bigler. She's latched herself onto the wheel of Cassia Nuvedoma. There's Ashley Moolman in the national champions jersey of South Africa. They're not far away now.
No, all those GC riders really attentive in the front, because as we said, it's a narrow end, so you want to be in the front to see if anything happens and be prepared.
Hannah Barnes just takes a big drink out of the water bottle. Elena Emilia Suk is the rider that's right on her wheel. Cassia Nuvedoma is there. Here come Team WNT. Catherine Hamas, it looks like, on the front here with her teammate on the wheel. So everyone just moving around at the front, looking for position. Look, Canyon Schramm really good at this role. There's Audrey Cordon-Rago in the Trek Segafredo jersey with Elisa Longo-Borghini in that blue jersey as the best Italian rider. She is right on her wheel. Sana Santesteban that Catherine Hamas has brought up towards the front. Here's Oma Shapira. There's the rainbow jersey on the right there. The white with the rainbow bands of Anna van der Breggen. Just directing riders that they're going to go left and right around the roundabout here. As the gap goes out, 54 seconds with 11.5 kilometers to go. It's looking good for Taylor Wiles here.
Yeah, I see her.
Back to the head of the race, the American rider. Again, just pressing on here, the hills in the distance. And a good stage. Again, this run up towards the finish. Again, in the stage profile, it looks like a really severe climb, doesn't it? I mean, as a rider, when you look at the sort of course profiles, they come sometimes they don't quite tell the story of when you actually get to them.
No, as I said before, like the Giro d'Italia, like the previous, you can never take them as you see them. If you really want to aim for that day, you have to go and see it personally, the uphill, because it's never as it's in paper.
So on the left two pictures, your leader, your peloton on the right, Caroline Canuel in that Canadian National Champions jersey, the red and white just moving through. And Sophie Devoise there in that green Queen of the Mountains jersey. We're hoping that she can try and keep herself quite close to the front here, perhaps try and steal some points right on the finish line. If it comes down to a sprint, Ashley Moolman keeping that pace super high there. Back to the front, really digging in as you would expect here. Taylor Wiles hunting down this stage here for Trek Segafredo. 29 years old is Taylor Wiles, and had a good finish overall in this race last year. She finished the race overall, looking down the general classification from last year, in about 15th overall. So everyone just grabbing bottles from the side. Amanda Spratt grabs that one. Hannah Barnes just leading out here for Cassia Nuvedoma. So we were concerned a little bit about Cassia's knee. Looks like at this stage she's looking strong, looking comfortable.
Yeah, it seems like nothing happened, so that is good for the team and for her.
I'm impressed by Ida Marino's position over the last couple of days, because the little rider you can see there from Team Movistar, she's got Aude Bianic, her teammate, that's with her. Coming into this one, we were talking a lot about Mavi Garcia, who unfortunately had a crash before we came to the race. But just over these first couple of road stages, I'm really impressed by Ida's positioning in the peloton.
Yeah, because she was really aiming for this race, and she knows this is a weakness of her. She doesn't like to be in the peloton that much. She's a really good climber, but these stages are hard for her. So it's good to see her with a teammate and in front and confident for what's to come.
So for Taylor Wiles, 9.7 kilometers to go now. She's pushing that advantage out to almost a minute, but a rider of the stature of the American, the peloton behind. They will not want to let her get too far up the road. This is what, again, these days when we look at the route of this year's Giro Rosa, we've got the high mountains. We unfortunately we're not going to the Gavia. We've still got those high mountain passes. For someone like Taylor Wiles, when you look around the front of this peloton, Canyon Tram, Mitchelton Scott, she's the sort of rider, give her a minute, and that gap with the team that she's got, that could be a minute and a half. That could be a kind of almost a race-winning gap for someone who climbs as well as she does.
Yeah, they really have to push it in the front. You see all the Canyon SRAM working together for not letting her go as much time, because she's a really dangerous rider as well.
You can see the climb there. So going up to 13% on that. That's the point where they're showing the categorization of the climb, which saw a few kilometers ago. Taylor Wiles really having to dig deep on some steep sections on the bottom of this one, but still holding that 49-second advantage. It's a fast climb, so she's going to have to work super hard here to try and hold off this one. Look at that ominous sight, though, as well, of those Mitchelton Scott jerseys up towards the front. Monique Teniglo here leading this one out for the team. And right on the wheel, Lucy Kennedy, Amanda Spratt, then Annemiek van Vleuten. Lucinda Brand for Team Sunweb is not far away from the front of the race as well. Seeing a lot of Team Virtu jerseys coming through as well. Team Virtu got a good team here as well. The likes of Rachel Neelan, the Australian, Sofia Bertazzolo, Katarina Alerud, Birgitta Kroshgard and Anushka Costa. That's the team of Team Virtu in this one. So 8.6, the gap just tumbling a little bit here. So the pace being set here by Hannah Barnes is just gradually, little on little, just eating into that advantage. It's now sort of advantage to Peloton. Before that point where the Canyon SRAM came through en masse, it was sort of advantage Taylor Wiles.
Yeah, we see it going down a little, but Taylor is looking really strong. I've seen her train a lot because she lives around Girona, and I get to see her around pretty frequently, and she's been aiming for this race and working hard, training in the heat as well and in the mountains. So yeah, it's looking good for her.
It's a good place, isn't it, Girona? A lot of people, a lot of riders especially, sort of you see a lot of Americans, lots of Brits, lots of Australians that come and base themselves down there. It's got a little bit of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, the roads are amazing, and it's a really special place for cyclists.
There's Ruth Winder in your Stars and Stripes National Champions jersey of the USA for Team Trek Segafredo. It's one of the best National Champions jerseys. You can really pick Ruth out as soon as she moves. Then you've got your new Canadian National Champion just moving up on the outside. Back to the front though, Taylor Wiles. Can she now try and extend this gap on this climb up to Piedicavallo? And out of the saddle now, really working hard here to try and hold off that peloton behind. If you weren't with us yesterday, it was a victory for Marianne Vos ahead of Annemiek van Vleuten. Lucinda Brand crossed the line yesterday in third place, just ahead of Anna van der Breggen, to make it an all-Dutch affair in the top four. Soraya Paladin was fifth yesterday. Amanda Spratt coming in sixth. Anna Santesteban, a good finish by her, just ahead of Amalia Rosa Cassiano-Nuvodoma, with Elisa Longo-Borghini and Demi Vollering. They rounded out the top 10 on yesterday's stage. There's Vos in that Chiclamine jersey, that sort of purpley coloured jersey with the SMP on it. So you're watching out for that one come the finish. Labus again in that white jersey, just moving up on the left of your picture. Moolman in that South African Champions jerseys there, as a Nuska Costa just moving up there with the bandage on her arm. Looks like she's had a bit of a tumble at some point. Yeah,
there were a couple of faults yesterday in the first going downhill, because there was some technical. I saw that Gloria got from the Movistar. She fell, but hopefully she has nothing and she keeps going as well, because the Movistar has a good team and they're really working for Eider to be on the top.
So Hannah Barnes still keeping that pressure on the front. It's all about Cassiano-Nuvodoma. They know they've got a Giro winning rider in their midst. She's got that jersey after the team won the team time trial on the opening day. You can see former British champion with those stripes on the cuffs of her jersey, and also in that team as well. You've got all up towards the front. Tiff Cromwell just moving through on the outside. So Omar Shapira, Eleni Emiliasuk and Alexis Ryan. That's the team. So they can back this one up. So Hannah Barnes just swings off the front now.
The rhythm is getting harder and harder. You can see their faces. Everybody trying to get as much water as possible to just get it to the end.
So really now you can see that in the top left of your picture, 6.7 kilometers to go, 37 seconds now is your time gap. Again, WNT with Hamas comes up. This time it's with Erica Magnaudi on the wheel, the Italian in the red, white and blue jerseys of WNT Rota. Aude Bionic for Movistar. You can see the tall rider there. Ida Marino will not be far from her. Again, a little close-up shot here of the Trek bike of Taylor Wiles here for Trek Segafredo. It's going to be a tall order here now with 6.5k to go as that gap now hits that almost down towards 30 seconds.
Yeah, you can see the typical roads from here. They're really beautiful, but yeah, you're by this time you're suffering a lot. So hopefully Tyler just keeps going and aiming for the win.
Cassia Nuvedoma there in your pink jersey, the Maglia Rosa, as it's known in cycling here in the Giro Rosa. And Cassia Nuvedoma still only just 24 years old, is Cassia. And she took a stage in the Queen of the Mountains in the Ovo Energy Tour of Britain coming into this one, so she showed great form. What a season that she's having, taking that Amstel Gold race. Over the course of her career. Again, we talk a lot about that Bira stage race down in Spain. That was a sort of in the early sort of point of her career where she also won that stage race. It's quite a mountainous one, isn't it, when you compare it to this sort of race?
Yeah, because in the Basque Country, it's pretty similar. The uphills is like Italy, that you turn to the right and then you see the uphill like, wow, what is this? Like, you don't have it anywhere else. The Basque Country is really typical for cycling because of that. We call them emboscadas.
Amelia swings off the Bigler jerseys, the white and light blues. So Lizzie Banks, Leah Thomas with Cecily Utra-Ludwig on the wheel. Here comes Elisa Longo-Borghini up towards the front. So good to see Team Bigler surrounding their team leader in this one. Look at the effort now on the face of Taylor Wiles, really battling to try to hold off this charging peloton behind. So again, another uphill finish before we head onto a sort of more of a rolling stage tomorrow. They call it wavy in the road book. It's an interesting way to put it tomorrow. So we head into the Lombardy region around Brianza, Como and Lecco tomorrow. Sort of roads that are used in the Coppa Ugo Agostini and the Giro di Lombardia. So it could be one for a long range breakaway tomorrow, or perhaps we don't have many sprinters in the race. Kirsten Field is one of them, but when you've got a couple of days of sprinters, they don't want to let them go, do they?
No, because this year the circuit is really hard. There's no flat stages, and tomorrow they say it easy, but on the Giro, nothing it's easy. I think tomorrow is one of the worst stages because all day you're up and down and up and down, and you really have to be careful.
We always called that Spanish flat in cycling, because when you're in Spain in a race, there's never any flat roads either, is there?
I think it's cycling always. There's no flat roads. It's either the wind or the cobbles, or you always have some adventures.
So there you go, heading now towards that 5 kilometre to go point. Taylor Wiles of Trek Segafredo still holding 23. It's still Barnes, winner of a stage here in the Giro Rosa in 2017. Had a great season last year as well. She really does look like now she does relish this opportunity and this role as well of working for the likes of Cassia Nuvedoma. She always takes her opportunities when she gets the chance to ride for herself. A look round the front of the peloton. So Lucy Kennedy just taking a drink there for Mitchelton Scott. Spratt is right on her wheel. Again, Bionic bringing Marido up on the right there for Movistar. Lizzie Banks doing a great job here for Team Bigler. So the British rider really has taken a big step up over the last couple of years as Lizzie Banks, a former medical student, so decided to pursue a career in cycling to try and qualify for next year's Tokyo Olympics. She's had a great season so far, and she's definitely on the radar for that one.
Yeah, I love seeing women fighting for their dreams, and doing a lot of things, because almost all of them study something, and then they do their cycling career as well, and then some have kids and still race. I love that about women's cycling. It's always something different.
I think it's great that we're seeing more and more as a lot of the pro women now having kids and then coming back, and then like we've seen with Lizzie Deignan, you know, Marta Bastianelli's a mum as well. You know, that's important, and the likes of the teams of Trek Segafredo as well, sort of you know, showing the way in terms of giving riders maternity leave and encouraging them back into the sport, because it's not a huge long time ago that we'd see them retire.
Yeah, that before didn't happen, but I've always say that when they have kids and they return, they're way stronger than they were before. I don't know what happens, but it's like, what did they do?
So through the cobbled streets now, Taylor Wiles, again, we saw these at the start, these very narrow streets, little cobblestones that we have, 4.5k to go. It's down to 18 seconds. So that peloton behind really hunting down the American. She's battling and fighting with everything that she's got here. It's WNT Rota that are leading the way. Erica Magnaudi, you can see the rider there, third in line from WNT Rota. And another qualified doctor is Erica Magnaudi, taking a break from being a doctor to pursue her career as a pro cyclist. Bienic keeping Marina there. It's Marino up there for Team Movistar. The camera now is going to pan back. She's still got the gap. The peloton not quite in sight, but I think they're about to appear around that corner for behind Taylor Wiles.
Yeah, and I love seeing, you could see Ania Santesteban there, then you could see Eider Merino. Like, Spanish riding it's growing a lot. The Spaniards you see them in front. We have Movistar team now, and it's growing, and we have strong riders. And Anne started the first Giro I did. It was her first Giro as well, and now she has 7 Giros. How fast time goes.
You were with Vizcaya Durango, who are in this race as well. What sort of difference is it making in Spain, having Team Movistar now?
Movistar is like the only big team. Vizcaya is a little bit smaller, as Lointec was before. So it's a little bit of a gap. So teams are trying to get there, but I think it's going to go slowly.
So you can see pressure just going off the front a little bit here at the moment. It's Amanda Spratt in the centre of your picture there for Mitchelton Scott. Lucy Kennedy just alongside her. And then you've got Sophie de Voist in that green jersey. Again, she's, as we said, the only Queen of the Mountains point today is right on the line. The head-on shot here, though, for Taylor Wiles. 22nd. The camera angle here, though, does foreshorten it slightly. You see hands on the top of the bars, gritting her teeth, trying to keep this gap for as long as possible. But there are the peloton behind. She's just, you can see here, just eking out another second or so. And again, looked like the peloton just a little bit of a regroup again at the front, just to try and get the run for the lead out.
Yeah. I love how Taylor never surrenders. She doesn't even look back. She's just like, I'll go as hard as I can go and see if I can get into the finish first.
It's the best way to go, though, isn't it? Because every time you look around, you just lose those little fractions of a second, don't you? And that can be the difference, because anything can happen, can't it?
Yeah, you have to be confident and maybe think that they're gonna watch each other, and you can make it.
Caroline Canuel here, the Canadian national champion, on the front for Bull Dolmans. And Canyon Tramp, Mitchelton Scott all lined out here. Cassia Nuvadomi, just see Annemiek van Vleuten just tightening the shoes there. She's right on the wheel of the Maglia Rosa. Manuel leading out here for the Bull Dolmans team. Where's Anna van der Breggen, looking for that rainbow jersey of the world champion. Moolman is right there with Marianne Vos on the wheel. Here comes Floortje Mackay with Lucinda Brand right behind her. Again, Hamas comes up towards the front. Magnaudi, her teammate, looking for the wheel of Hamas. Bigler still very much to the front. Here come Park Hotel Valkenburg. Demi Vollering, watch out for her come the finish as well here. But Taylor Wiles, 3.3k to go, still holding 20 seconds, still believing that she can still hold off this peloton behind.
Yeah, and here you see all the GC riders want to be in front, and they're fighting for position. You see all the teams going in front and just getting the riders to the finish.
Lizzie Banks leading out here. You just see the teammates all lined out for Team Bigler. Cecily Uttrup Ludwig is right there, and Anna van der Breggen, the world champion, you can see in that rainbow jersey, is alongside her. And her teammate, the American rider, Hall, is not far away from her as well. So Katie Hall, a rider as well that we can think she could be the backup GC rider, or the one that they're trying to keep quiet come the end of this race. Taylor Wiles is still holding on. Can she keep going now up towards the line? It's 3 kilometers to go, just still holding 15 seconds. I think the peloton within the next sort of 500 meters are really going to have to try and ramp this one up.
Yeah, they're hammering now. They want to get her.
Lizzie Banks, pressure on here. Good to see Team Bigler leading out here. So Bigler, great team time trial that they did on the opening day. So we're all lined out in front of Cecilie Uttrup-Ludvig. So clearly she's got good legs today. She's put the team to work now on the front of this one to try and line her up for a stage victory. Thomas, you can see, is there for Team Bigler as well. So Lizzie Banks setting a really hot pace now at the front. Kennedy again moves through here for Mitchelton Scott. Winder is locked in ready on her wheel. Uttrup-Ludvig's got Thomas right behind her. Kennedy now attacks. Taylor Wiles is up the road. Lucy Kennedy, in a similar fashion to how we saw her yesterday, goes on the attack again. It's ahead, Taylor Wiles. The motorbikes are just being pulled out of the gap here. We're getting in towards the narrow streets. Again, Mitchelton Scott go on the attack. We look at Amanda Spratt all the time. We look at the likes of Annemiek van Vleuten and Lucy Kennedy as a rider as well. Has got strong general classification hopes in this race.
What a team. They have all the riders are really strong, and they work with each other.
Look how quickly she's closing the gap. Taylor Wiles takes a look back. Lizzie Banks does the same now on the front. I think that's job done by her. Kennedy now hunting down the Trek Segafredo rider at the front. Taylor Wiles grits her teeth to try and hang on to this one, but Kennedy powering across the gap there with 2 kilometers to go. They see that banner on the side of the road. Kennedy into the slipstream now, about to make contact with the American. Out of the saddle now, makes a move and goes straight past.
Oh, that hurts. Look at their faces. They're really, really struggling.
So Lucy Kennedy here is really she's a rider, winner of the Durango race earlier on in the season. She's a stage winner and overall winner in the Herald Sun Tour as well in the Down Under. And Oceana time trial champion in the past as well. And really having to work hard now. 1.6 kilometers to go. This sort of mid-range attack to try and steal this one. And Taylor Wiles, you can see there, has not quite been swept up by the peloton. Kennedy really working hard and digging deep here with 1.5 km to go. Back to the front of the peloton. It's Spratt in the centre, Van Vleuten on the right. So bit of blocking on tactics now on the front here for Mitchelton Scott. WNT are there. De Voist just gives her teammate a little bit of a pat to come through towards the front. Probably trying to lead out here for Demi Vollering. So interesting tactics here for Mitchelton Scott to just let Kennedy go away. There's Hall on the left there in the orange and black for Bull Dolmans. Back to the head of the race though, Lucy Kennedy. 2 days, 2 late attacks.
Yeah, she's looking really, really, really strong. And you can see the tactics of the team. They're just wanting all the riders to be on top.
So you can see just gulping in the air, Lucy Kennedy. She's into that time trial mode now. Just shifts through the gears, just affords herself an opportunity to take a look back. So there's Katie Hall out of the saddle on the front. Alei Cipollini also very much to the front of this one. So Nadia Quagliotto and Soraya Paladin are up there in this one. Van Vleuten you can see there in that purple jersey. Go back to the front though. Kennedy, can she hang on to this one? You see these narrow twists and turns up towards the finish. The Mitchelton Scott rider believing now that she can hold on towards the finish. Taylor Wiles is about to be swept up by this group that you can see is just steadily thinning out under the pressure of the tempo at the front. So the American national champion Ruth Winder is still very much to the front of this one for Sunweb. will be looking to try and lead out for Lucinda Brand, but it's all about this rider, though, at the head of the race. Can she hang on through the Flamme Rouge now for Lucy Kennedy? She'll be able to start hearing the finish very, very soon. The announcer on the finish line really digging deep now to try and hang on to this one up towards the finish. 18 seconds with 900 meters to go.
Yeah, and we see, we're looking at her bike, and we see she's not using disc brakes. A lot of, like half of the bikes of the Peloton have disc, and then half don't have. I don't know if that's a team choice or a personal choice.
Yeah, so looking on the front of the Peloton, Spratt and Van Vleuten are there. Bigler again as Leah Thomas up towards the front here. Cecily Uttrup Ludwig getting brought through by the American. It's dropping here, 14 seconds, 800 meters to go. That's a good advantage with this one up towards the line, but she's going to have to try and accelerate this one on a climb. Even 14 seconds on a climb like this, it can disintegrate when the sprint starts behind.
Yeah, and the cobbles at the end as well.
You can see the chase now. Canyon Schramm leading out. Van Vleuten, Moolman. Here comes Spratt up towards the front. Marianne Vos is also there. Soraya Paladin. So right on the front of this one, Elena Amelia Suk. There's Ashley Moolman, Amanda Spratt, Lucinda Brand is also there. Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, 12 seconds. Can she hang on to this one? Here comes that group. Amelia Suk for Canyon Schramm. Remember, you've got 10, 6 and 4 seconds on the line. Van Vleuten and Spratt are happy to let this one go. Right on the wheel, you've got Mariana Vos, Cassia Nuvodoma is there, and Lisa Longoborghini in that blue jersey as the best Italian rider. 10 seconds with 400 meters to go, 300 meters to go now for Lucy Kennedy. Digging deep, where's the sprint going to come from behind? Lucinda Brand now out of the saddle. Here comes Katie Hall in the orange and black of Bull Dolmans into the narrow streets now, up towards the line. You can see the banners ahead. There's Uttrup Ludwig out of the saddle. Moolman Passio holding this tempo, trying to lead out. Mariana Vos, you can see, just trying to find her way out. Brand's moving up, so Amanda Spratt upping the tempo. You can see it's going to climb all the way up now towards the finish line. Lucy Kennedy now. Cecily Uttrup Ludwig makes a move. Uttrup Ludwig goes and Mariana Vos. She was trying to react now to the attack of Mariana Vos. Look at the acceleration now of Mariana Vos as she hits the cobblestones. There is Kennedy, but Vos is hunting her down. Kennedy is on the slabs through the center, off the cobblestones, up towards the line. Kennedy is up to there. Vos comes through. Kennedy puts her hand up just before the line, and Mariana Vos snatches the stage victory from Lucy Kennedy right on the line. As we always say, sprint through the finish line. Lucy Kennedy, she thought she had it won. Look where Vos is at this point. Kennedy starts to celebrate. Mariana Vos hunting down that stage win, puts her hand up, and Vos makes her pay the price, comes through, throws the bike at the line. Look at the face of Lucy Kennedy.
No, that's horrible.
Absolutely shell-shocked Lucy Kennedy. Let's have a look at the line. Look at that. You never celebrate when Vos is hunting you down like that, do you?
No, I think this will never happen to her again. She's gonna pass, and no, it's a mistake. Oh, she's gonna dream with this for a couple of years.
Oh, pain and agony for Lucy Kennedy. Vos through on the line, throws the bike at the finish line. Kennedy crestfallen. There's Cassia Nuvodoma crossing the line in that pink jersey. What a finish. That's just pain and torture and agony, and she is absolutely devastated, as you would expect.
Oh, poor her. Right now I don't want to be in her shoes.
All of that effort all the way to the line. She looked back, and normally you would look back at that point and think, I've got it. But when Mariana Vos is coming like that, you just cannot just relax for 1 second.
No, she accelerated, and like yesterday, nobody could just stay in her wheel. She just gets some meters, and she knows the way. She just hammers down and gives it all.
There you have it. There's confirmation of your stage result. Marianne Vos takes it from Lucy Kennedy, Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, Ashley Moolman-Passio just behind Annemiek van Vleuten, Brand, Paladin, Santesteban, Van der Breggen and Magnaudi is your top 10. Just 4 seconds separating them at the finish line. Let's see how it affects the general classification. Kasia Nuvedoma still in the Maglia Rosa, but Marianne Vos has now closed to within 4 seconds. Uttrup Ludwig now up to third at 14 seconds.
When I launched the sprint, I actually thought, well, this is all or nothing, and but I actually thought it was going to be too late because it was such a big gap still with Lucy. But then, yeah, we entered this final 100 meters on the cobbles, on the pavé, and then a steep last bit. And yeah, when Lucy put her arm in the air, I just had more speed than I came around. So it was crazy. But yeah, indeed, it was heartbreaking for Lucy.
Yeah, right on the line. So the feeling when I saw Mariana there out of the corner of my eye as I thought I'd got the win was pretty heartbreaking. But I think when the dust settles, I'll be pretty happy with my ride. You know, yeah, obviously my legs are really good. Had a good late attack yesterday, and then another one today. So it shows that I'm in good form, and you know, it's helping Annemiek as well for me to be going on these late attacks. It sets it up well for her to make the final hard. So, you know, a good day, but not a great day.
It was a nice day. I mean, I was enjoying entire stage. The last final climb wasn't as steep as I was expected, so yeah, there were a lot of situations happening. I'm really happy that I managed to keep the pink jersey, and I do believe that we're having like 7 more very brutal stages ahead of us.
So Marianne Vos on to the podium, takes the stage victory, steals the stage from Lucy Kennedy. Cecily Uttrup Ludwig up there in 3rd place. Celebrations for Vos, looking in absolutely phenomenal form in this year's Giro Rosa. Kasia Nuvedoma of Canyon SRAM still in the Maglia Rosa as a race leader. As she goes into tomorrow's stage, she leads Marianne Vos by 4 seconds, with Cecily Uttrup Ludwig closing the gap after a great job by her Bigla team, now at 14. Marianne Vos looking good in the Chiclamine jersey, extends her lead in the points classification. Juliette Labouche from Team Sunweb still in the white jersey as the leader of the Best Young Riders classification. Elisa Longoborghini pulls on another blue jersey as the best Italian rider. Too many gifts on the podium for the Trek Segafredo rider. Oh, what can you say about that? I think that's page 2 of the coaching manual, isn't it? Always sprint through the line. Absolute heartbreak for Lucy Kennedy.
Yeah, what a finish that she thought she had a big gap, but with Marianne Vos coming a new wheel, that's never a good idea.
For Marianne Vos, though, 2 days now, she just looks like she's got that trademark snapback, hasn't she? That acceleration that she makes when she really opens the gas.
Yeah, lately we've seen that. She's back. Mariana, the old Mariana a couple of years ago, she's back. Her confidence is back, and it's really good to see her.
And Kasia Nuvedoma, she's still in that Maglia Rosa. Vos and Uttrup Ludwig have both closed the gap. And Kasia said it in her post-race interview. They're expecting 7 more absolutely brutal stages, aren't they? What a start so far.
Yeah, it's been really close. We've seen all the GC riders up there and all the teams fighting for this win. Everybody wants it.
Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed that as much as we have. And thanks for Mayelen for her company for the last 3 days. Danny Rowe is with me tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Don't forget, spread the word. Subscribe to GCN Racing. From Mayelen and myself, have a good day. Bye for now.